Hey there, folks. My name is Kurn. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are actually going to talk about Warcraft logs. Those of you who are longtime followers, readers of my blog, that sort of thing, you may be aware that I was super into logs. I still am super into logs. Logs are like still one of my favorite things to look at. It's like part of my job these days. I mean, not looking at Warcraft logs, but log files in general, because you can always find the thing, the root cause, the problem or the reason for success in the logs. The logs show all. A YouTube video from one person's perspective isn't going to show everything, but the logs generally will. Only trouble is Twilight Realms. Anyway, that's a whole other problem. Um I'm looking here at a Cataclysm 25 player normal Nefarian fight. And there's a reason for that. I have not rated significantly since Cataclysm, and they're in the tier 11 phase. They're in you know Blackwing Depths. Is that what it's called? Bastion of Twilight, Throne of the Four Winds. That's the tier that they're in right now. And I did uh what did I do? I went 7 of 13 heroic that tier, I think. Yeah. And then like Fireland 6 of 7 heroic, and then eventually 8 of 8 Dragon Soul heroic. All on 25 person. Um, and so like I'm familiar with this fight in as much as I'm familiar with, fights that I did, but like I spent a lot of time going through our Nef logs trying to figure out what the actual F was going on at various times. Did someone miss this interrupt? Because remember those interrupts? Those sucked. And what about the tank who is like picking up the skellies and stuff? Like there was a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, so I have a lot of experience going through logs. I have not got a lot of experience going through Warcraft logs. So I wanted to spend some time today going through Warcraft logs to help show you as we come into a new expansion how useful they are. Um and it's not exactly Warcraft logs is not exactly the same as World of Logs, which was a different tool. It's now been retired, and that makes me sad because I knew how to use World of Logs. I I do not know how to use Warcraft logs very well, so I'm also going to be learning as I sort of teach you. But I figured that my best way of showing you how to use it would be to do so with a fight I'm familiar with, so that I can better judge, whatever. I would like to apologize to floor inspectors of Aragal US on Cata Classic Realms, because I just randomly picked your guild. I just randomly, like, I went to like the stats and the parses, and I just picked one at random that was doing Nef, and so here we are. So this is the damage done scene page. We can actually start with the summary, which is probably better, so we can see specifically that we have 2 tanks, 5 healers, and what does that mean? 18 DPS. Which is an interesting choice, because back in the day I used to do this with 7 healers, sometimes 6. But anyway, our healers and our deeps were disgusting. So I find it interesting that we've got 2 pally tanks. But anyway, um, first thing to look at is not DPS, is not HPS, is not anything really. Like all of this is just approximations of what has occurred. It doesn't tell you anything about what that person's assignment was, what they were supposed to be doing. It doesn't tell you anything about that. Um it is good to see that like the top DPS are all, well within the same sort of range. It's good to see that, We've got a couple of healers here who are fairly close. I mean, like, you've got a disc and a disc here and like a resto druid. So I'm really not sure what's going on here, but the logs will tell us. We'll figure out what's going on here. This is obviously not great. This is one of the tanks who died to Shadow Flame Breath, not once but twice. So not ideal. But we will spend a bit of time looking through things. Something here that I really do like is seeing what the item level was, what the gear was, what their talents were in general. Did they take their potions? Did they take their health stones? Like, this person took both a potion and a health stone, so props to this mage. This mage took 2 potions. Props to you. But like, so many people did not take a single health stone, which makes me very, very sad, especially healers. Healers should be doing that too. Okay, I'm gonna stop nitpicking, and we're gonna actually go into the fight. What I like to look at here is deaths. So, that's a rebirth, and then that's gonna be another rebirth. So that's the tank that we saw who died twice. If we look at deaths, we'll see that there was that death there. Oh, and then that tank died again. And then that mage died from their own cauterize, which means that they didn't get healing in time. This warlock died from electrocute. Let me just say, electrocute sucks. As a healer on this fight, electrocute sucks. And then they what's this? It's not showing me what that is, but then a shadow priest died from electrocute. Like, people are gonna die from electrocute. It's sort of like it has to happen. This one died from the melee. Yeah, okay. That poor tank, man. That tank died 3 times on this fight. Poor Zatas. I would not like to have Zatas's repair bills. And again, I don't know these people. I'm really sorry for just randomly picking you. I'm really not trying to use you as an example of what to do or what not to do, I promise. And then Resto Druid ate it. Oh no, that's a feral druid. Never mind. Okay. So interesting to see that there were a couple of B-reses. Interesting to see that there were a number of deaths, particularly when we get into like the electrocute. The cauterize is interesting. So it's a shadow flame barrage, which caused the death, which then caused the cauterize, which then buys you a couple of seconds, and then it doesn't look like they got too much in the way of healing. They only got like 86,000 healing out of 222,000 damage. So, yeah, that person was gonna die. That kind of sucks, and I feel bad for them. Electrocute though, like, they're electrocute and shadow blaze. That ain't fun. It means that they were probably low when the electrocute came out. Yeah, that's kind of brutal. And then just electrocute can and will just destroy you. It was a really, I'm not gonna say it's a gruesome fight. I'm not gonna say it's a really hard fight. I mean, it's normal mode, but oh, it's still an end boss in the instance on normal. Anyway, so that's a good idea of understanding what was going on here. This may also explain why this fight was almost 6 minutes long. I think the fight used to be somewhere between 5 and 6 minutes. Like, if you went much past 5.5, chances are you were flailing and you were running around like a chicken with your head cut off. I could be wrong. Okay, so let's look at the damage taken. That is one of my favorite things to look at. So this is a tank, and pretty well mitigated. They were active 83% of the time. This person active about 50% of the time. They did die like 3 times. Bear that in mind. Had this person who took a chunk of damage too. That's interesting. This might have been like an off tank, tanking Onyxia or something. I'm not entirely sure how they got things set up. Same with maybe this feral druid. Again, not 100% sure because I don't know these people. Um, but we'll get into the logs and we'll figure it out. So I mean, obviously these damage spikes here is like electrocutes, and then probably more electrocutes, to be honest. Let's take a look at electrocute by itself. Yeah, so electrocute here, 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 here. I mean, there's a lot of them, right? Which is normal. It's part of the fight. Like every 10%, after a certain point, that's what happens. He casts electrocute, so that's good to know. Um, Blast Nova. Blast Nova is a pain in the ass. It is this spell that is cast by these mobs on the platforms within um the pit in which you fight Nefarian. And as the place like fills basically with lava, you have to jump onto these platforms and then interrupt the crap out of these mobs as you also DPS them down. And it's really good to see that they only let Blast Nova get off a couple of times in this section here. Like props to them. I wonder if one of their interrupters was dead at this point on this particular platform. It's possible. But yeah, the Blast Nova does suck. Um, and like everybody gets hit by it. There's not a lot you can do to like mitigate it. So that's good. Just like one Blast Nova got through. Let's see. What else do we have? We have Shadow Flame Barrage. Okay. Yeah. I mean, a big chunk right in here. And then we have Shadow Flame Breath at the start and at the end. That makes sense. Okay. So that's sort of an interesting look at the damage taken. Healing. So we've got um a holy priest, followed by a disc, a holy pally, resto druid, and another disc priest. So I mean, this pally, who are you healing? Is healing primarily healing what looks like the main tank and themselves basically, and then off heals to the other tank and whoever else they can reach. It looks like Codex here looks like they were primarily also on tank healing. Um, wow, lots of tank healing here as well. Uh, yeah, everybody kept the tanks up basically, or did their best to. I find it interesting that they used 5 healers because there were a couple of spots where we saw some DPS go down because they could have used extra healing. Like that mage who died to their own cauterize. So I maybe would have gone with 6. But like the problem is that overhealing is so annoying. I mean, the Holy Priest barely did any overheals, probably because Circle of Healing is like a smart spell. Did they use Circle of Healing a lot? I mean, to an extent. Renew, that's a good call. Divine Hymn, very nice. Wow. Yeah. Um, Whereas, like, obviously, the disc priests are doing a lot in the way of absorption. Look at the absorbs on the electrocute. That's pretty sweet. Um, Here, like this is obviously like it's got to be what's it called? Divine Hymn. Almost certainly coincide with the electrocutes. So that's pretty well done. Holy Pally. Uh, healed a lot during electrocute, obviously. I'm guessing I don't actually know if the Pallies are using the new Holy Radiance or the old one. I just looking at that, I would say that that's the new one where you like actually cast Holy Radiance and it lands on someone and other people around it versus just the stuff that like emanates from you and gives you a speed boost, which is what it was like back in this tier back in the day. But it looks like they're using the new Holy Radiance because there are two spell ability names for it. So I think that you've got the actual heal, then you've got the heal around the people around them. Interesting. Okay. And then we've got I mean, obviously, Trank would have been used during electrocutes and stuff. Wild growth as well. Anyway, it's good to see that. I like that this Shadow Priest obviously did a divine hymn. I don't know why this Shadow Priest didn't. Were they dead? I think that they're one of the people who died. So maybe they were supposed to be doing that. Healing Stream Totem. That's a nice call. Did we get? We did not get. Oh no, we did. We got a trank from this druid. That's pretty good. Um, Lay on hands from the tank. I mean, it's good. they cast lay on hands on themselves, but it's bad that the tank might have needed that. Cauterize Health Stone. Not seeing a ton of healing from other people, but that's okay. So, that's an interesting thing to bear in mind that they only had the 5 healers. They did have a couple of people who aren't healers casting heals during high intensity moments, though. That's good. Let's look at interrupts. So this is when you're jumping on the platform. We got 4, 4. Okay. But they missed the one. They missed one cast of Blast Nova. And then it caused that much damage. Where'd it go? It caused this much damage in that short period of time because they missed the one. That's like a lot of damage. That's 856,000 damage, just like that. So always interrupt Blast Nova, but like they did a really good job. I'm really not like, you know, what's the word? Criticizing them. I think that one is fine. Okay. Dispels. There's not much going on there, right? Resources. I don't even know how to read this. Damage, falling, falling, falling. There is some falling. Okay. Casts, useful to an extent, just because you can like see who's doing stuff. The active time here is what's usually interesting, but like almost nobody's ever gonna be at like 100%. Even if they're the tank, even if they have stuff to do. Um, it's much more likely that some people will have somewhere between 95 and 98% active time. Um, and that's if they're DPS. If you're healers, you're probably going to be a little lower down because, you know, you're trying to cast and, oh, that person is either dead or somebody else has healed them. And so you'll interrupt your cast and then you'll try to cast on someone else. Yeah, so like this looks fine to me. The healers are Some of the healers are down here. This one must have just been casting the crap out of Power Word Shield. Yeah, a bunch. Oh, lots of prayer healing too. Okay, good call. Um This one, lots of renews. Where does the Holy Pally? Holy Radiance, yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so, don't fret too much about active stuff unless people are like not doing the damage or healing that they're expected to do, in the sense that like their mob didn't die, or their player died instead of lived. Don't worry about active time too much. Okay. So this is the start basically of what I would look at. I haven't looked at everything, and I've already been talking for like 20 minutes. So, we're going to move on right quick here. We're going to look at one of the coolest things that you can do with World of Logs. And that is, if I can find the damn thing, we're going to look at the replay. It's around here somewhere. Is it under timelines? Oh no, it's right here. Replay. So, check this out. This is the entire fight, and it's going to show you what the hell happened. Like, how amazing is that? This is better than a YouTube video because you can actually see what's going on. So that's Onyxia. And then these are the Bone Warriors. So now we can see who's picking up the Bone Warriors. It looks like a mage is doing something to them. There's this tank here. There's those dudes there. Another Bone Warrior. Okay, there's Nef. So this tank is on Nef and is dragging him over here. Okay, yeah, we've got Null Knight. That Death Knight is taking care of some of the Bone Warriors, along with this Hunter, who is probably misdirecting to him. We've got the two Disc Priests nearby each other, I guess, so that they can sort of cross heal. We've got that tank who died 3 times on Onyxia over here, with some heals and then some deeps on Oni. It's so cool. I wish we'd had this tool back in my day. Okay, so we're working, we're moving through the fight. They're leaving here because is Oni down? Oni must be, yeah. Oni, oh, he got splatted. So now someone's got to res him. Look, there's Wrathkin. I don't know if that's who resed him. Then we're going to the 3 pillars. And there's the Blast Nova. Oh wow, these people are late. Okay, let's see. Blast Novas, Shadow Flame Barrage, Shadow Flame Barrage. That was the Blast Nova that got through, maybe? Or was that? Anyway, this is fascinating. So, is he dead? This person's dead. Wow, why are these people? I mean, like, they must be interrupting them. But I would want to see them interrupted way quicker. We had 2 people on each, and on each platform dedicated to it. Okay. So we should be jumping off of the platform soon. Nef is, I don't know what Nef's health is at. Oh, it's here. So they've gone through the 70% electrocute. I think that they'll probably stick till 60. After 60, they'll probably come back down. Maybe. Oh, they're coming down 65. Okay. I guess that's when the lava goes away. It's been a while. Okay, so then you just, hammer on Nef for a while. So the tank has taken him all the way over here. We used to take him here, I think. And here are the skellies. So you see that they're going for the healers. So the hunter is like MDing them to Null Knight almost certainly. You probably also have oh yeah, and there's the other tank. And you've got a healer. The Resto Druid is running with them. Okay, there you go. That makes sense. So he probably just like froze them for a sec. Ooh, we had people die at the maybe 50-ish%. That's not too bad. That they should be clumped up a bit more. It's not a huge deal. I mean, it can be, but like if your tanks are good, you're fine. So he just taunted that. So now we have 5 animated bone warriors. They're still going in. We've got another electrocute coming up. Okay, okay. I mean, it looks good. We've got a whole bunch of these dudes now, though. Jeez, look at them all. And then that DK off tank died. So then we've got this tank going in. Oh wow, the the Neff tank grabbed an animated bone warrior as well as Neff. Okay, so now the feral is picking up some of them, and where's their healer gone? I think that druid's dead. Yeah, Rathkin's dead. This was, and I'll say this as politely as I can, this was a shit show at the end. Oh, there goes the ad tank. The other ad tank, I should say. All of them were dead. They're at like 3%. They just have to like keep deep sing. And victory. Wow. Wow, that was a really cool thing to watch. It does remind me of our old encounters, I guess, with Neff. Um, it's always bad at the end. So honestly, this was a really decent kill by this group. As I said, I don't know anything about Floor Inspectors. I think that's a hilarious name. I just picked this randomly. So that's just like sort of a look at how you can examine the generalities of the raid. Okay. There's more to be done here. There are like queries that you can run that will show you X, Y, and Z. Um, Man, if only they were already in Dragon Soul, because I have queries, like old queries that I would love to run on this. But it's for things like oh, I don't remember, Yorsage and his purple buff or whatever, debuff. Anyway, this was a really interesting thing to look at. Just remember that when you're looking at things in the logs, ooh, you can even zoom in. When you're looking at things in the logs, whatever you do, don't just go by like the summary. Don't look at this and go, "Oh, Strong Mace is awesome, and so is Otis Old Man, and so is DK, whatever." And don't look at this and just go, "Oh, Codex is the best healer we have." Like there are things to take into consideration. There are things that you need to understand about, giving responsibility to people. Like who missed that interrupt on that blast nova? That's something I would want to know. Um, so those are things that you should look at for sure. Don't just glance at this and be like, okay, that's what happened. Um, Also, looking at the deaths is a really good way to understand, first of all, how people died, and then it's a really good way to sort of fix things going forward. So, like, we can see here that Zatas, who has now died twice at this point, didn't have enough heals on them. So they need more heals. And so did Asprula, who died from Cauterize. Um, this person just didn't have enough health to get through the electrocute um, over the course of like a full minute. Let's take a quick look at this person because I'm confused. So I love this breakdown. Look at this. So they get shielded. Then there's an electrocute. Then there's magma damage. That's the lava all around. There's Shadow Flame Barrage, getting like chunks of heals here and there. Vampiric Embrace, Blast Nova. That's the one that killed people, right? Because that's the one um that got missed in the interrupt. So as a direct result of this Blast Nova going off, this warlock died. But look, they did take their health stone, which is great. Their fell armor helped out a little bit. They got a renew. But like they didn't have any direct. Wait, let me see. Renew, another renew tick. Health stone, renew. Yeah, they didn't have like any direct heals on them before they died between the blast nova and their death. So like that's the healing problem. Where if we really wanted to figure it out, we could put this person, we could highlight them in the replay, see which healer was around them in that time, and then figure out maybe who should have been healing them. But I think that that's a really interesting thing that we saw, that there were no direct heals. It was just a couple of renew ticks. When Blast Nova goes off, you got to use those group heals as best you can. They had 11, 12, almost 12 seconds between the Blast Nova and the Electrocute. And that's not a lot of time. They might have wanted to hold off on the Electrocute. The Electrocute happens every 10% of health. So if they had held off just not even a minute, but like a few seconds, that might have given people a bit of a chance. Anyway, so like that's the kind of thing you can find in the logs. And I'm really glad to see that the warlock in question actually used a health stone, because if they didn't, that's like inexcusable. I mean, it's their own thing, right? Anyway, so yeah, that is a lot of talking, and I kind of apologize for it, but not really. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, if you have a parse that you want me to look over. Bear in mind, I don't know anything about dragonflight fights, but I'll be happy to like take a look at what I can figure out. And yeah, I guess that's about it, but I want to dig into this more going forward into the war within. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And like I said, any questions, comments, leave them below. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you next time.